So who knows what today's habitat is? Who knows what today's habitat is? What is it, Kenzie?
The ocean.
Cheers, the ocean. Who's ever seen an ocean? Has anyone ever seen an ocean? Anybody ever see an ocean before? Nice, a lot of you have been to the ocean. Has anyone ever been to the ocean in the wintertime? Yeah, you can't go swimming though, right? Because it's just not warm enough. Yeah, but the ocean, did you know the ocean covers so much of our world? It covers 3/4 of it. That's a fraction, and we're going to be learning about fractions later on, so maybe we can remember that fact. But the ocean covers most of our world, so it's the biggest habitat. Now, who can remember what is a habitat? Miss Remitz keeps saying habitat, habitat, habitat. What's a habitat? Who would like to tell us what's a habitat? Natalie, go ahead. I like your brick wall. What's a habitat? Ocean is a habitat. The Arctic is a habitat, which we learned about on Monday. I said the ocean's the biggest habitat.
It's an animal's home.
Yeah, so is it one animal or a bunch of animals? What do you think? I think that it's an animal's home, but so many animals live there. It's not just like an apartment or a house, where only a few people live. A habitat can go from as small as a local forest to as big as the ocean that covers our planet. Thank you, Natalie. That's an awesome answer. A habitat is the home for animals. Now, if an animal isn't able to survive because maybe the temperature is too strong, maybe it's too hot or too cold, or maybe they, can't swim, or maybe their fur isn't strong enough. Well, that means that an animal needs to adapt. Ooh, what do you think adapt means? We said it a couple times on Monday, and it was in your packet, which there's a new packet for today on the ocean. I'll show it to you online. Who would like to guess what they think adapt means? Like, for example, a polar bear needs to adapt with its fur to survive in the cold Arctic. Adapt. You want to try, Ruth Run? Go ahead. I'm excited. I like when someone's up to a challenge. There you go. Protect themselves. True. So would you say a polar bear, Ruthron, does it need to have thin fur so that it stays cool, or thick fur so that it stays warm?
Thick fur.
Yeah, so a polar bear wouldn't survive in Hawaii because it has too much fur. It would get so hot that it wouldn't be able to cool down. But in the Arctic, the polar bear's fur is so thick that it protects itself. It adapted. Ruthven, awesome job. There's your little high five. Awesome job. Thank you. So the animals in the ocean, they have something really big that they do to adapt that no other animals can do unless they live in the ocean. What do you think is something that an ocean animal can do that a land animal cannot do? What can an ocean animal do that a land animal cannot do? Ryan, you have a guess? Think about it, my friends. Let's see if you agree with him.
Breathes under.
Yes, but
Breathe
Ryan,
underwater.
wait. Ryan said animals in the ocean can breathe underwater because the air that we breathe is not underwater. The water is too thick that the air gets trapped in it. So the fish are able to get the air through their gills. But Ryan, I've seen whales and dolphins underwater. They need to breathe air. They don't have gills. What do they do?
They jump up out of the water and do a flip and then go back in.
Oh, so they have a powerful flip and that helps them? That's cool. Josiah, you have an idea?
And they
Walk on land.
So have you seen a dolphin walk on land? Because that'd be insane. That'd be awesome. So it's true, Josiah, that animals that live on land can walk on land, or fly, which a fish can't do. Do you have an idea, Josiah, of what a dolphin or a whale has that they use? We're going to read about it in a second, but I'm curious to see what you already know about those.
A blowhole.
Say it again.
A blowhole.
Ding, ding, ding. High five, Josiah. Yes, those animals adapted. They don't have hands and they don't have feet. They certainly don't have wings. So they couldn't survive on land. They stayed in the water. But in order to be able to breathe and go back underwater, Josiah got it. They have a blowhole. Ryan said that they swim up so that they're above the water, and that's where they'll get their air from, by blowing out the water that they sucked up in their mouths out of their blowhole, and then they'll breathe through their mouth the air that's above the water. Oh my gosh, the fact that a dolphin and a whale were able to over time grow and be able to do that is so cool. That's called an adaptation. Ready? I want you to tap your lips and you're going to say adaptation.
Good.
Adaptation. Right. Oh, thanks, Josiah. You can mute yourself, by the way. I forgot to tell you. Adaptation. An adaptation means you change to survive or protect yourself, as Ruth Ron said. Well, my friends, let's jump in to the ocean, the land of Finding Nemo, and the ocean that Moana loves so much. I just saw Moana for the first time, finally. So I'm joining you in that. I never saw it before. Let's look at some pictures of the ocean. I'm going to share my screen with you and we'll dive in. So everyone, get ready to dive in. Get your diving pose ready. We'll dive in 3, 2, 1. Dive in! Okay. Don't spill any water during this time though, right? Awesome job, my friends. We dived into the ocean. Now let's see what we can find there. So can you see my screen? Okay, good. Ryan was swimming, so I wasn't sure, but Samarth, thank you for letting me know. Now, there's different types of ocean. There's Arctic or polar oceans, which are very cold, and so they have a lot of ice. Ice is just made out of water, so a lot of the water has frozen, and that's why animals like the polar bear need thick fur so that they don't get too cold when they're swimming. Now, there's also tropical oceans. Tropical just means warm, like Hawaii or Bermuda or maybe Cuba or the Bahamas. Now, the warmer the water gets, the more plants can grow in it. If you look in closely, doesn't this just look like grass? That's seagrass. Or you might have seen seaweed or algae. Those are plants that can live underwater. But we talked about plants already. I want to know about animals. And a big part of tropical animals, tropical oceans, I mean, is they have some coral reefs. Now, coral reef looks like rocks, but it's actually its own type of animal. If you think about it, it's a living thing itself. And a lot of fish live in this coral to protect themselves from bigger animals like a shark. A shark would hurt itself if it rammed into this coral, so the fish live there. And if you look on today's post, I have the Little Mermaid song, but I also have a video about exploring the coral reef. I am not going to show you the whole video, but just so you see what it looks like. Look, I made my mouse big, by the way, while this is loading. I'll show you that. This is a video that talks about the coral reef, since we won't be talking about it too much today. I guess that's not going to load. That's okay. It's probably because I'm presenting, but that's fine. You're going to be learning about a couple animals today in our ocean habitat. The ocean is the part of water that isn't trapped by land, because that would be a river, a pond, or a lake. If there's land all around it, then it's not an ocean. An ocean is a wide body of water that goes across the entire planet. There's different oceans. We have, I believe there's 7 oceans. I can't remember for some reason. We're near the Atlantic Ocean. So if you ever been to Wildwood, Ocean City, Long Beach Island, those are all part of the Atlantic Ocean, which is an incredibly big ocean that separates us from other countries and other continents like Europe, which we learned about in December. So if you look here, the ocean goes against the beach or the shore, and that's where all the sand is. Now, seaweed or coral can grow underground, but there's not many plants that can grow underground because light, what you see here's the sun, light is not a good swimmer. It's just like Miss Remitz. Light can't really swim. It can't make its way down through the water too much. So that's why if you're in shallow water, it'll look lighter because the light can get through it, so it'll be bright blue. But the deeper down you go, the light starts to disappear because it can't make it through the deep water. And that's why the darker you go in the ocean, or the deeper you go, the darker it gets. So that's a cool fun fact. Now, the sand at the bottom can have holes in it called trench. If you ever have seen, I'll see if I can pull it up or maybe attach it. There's a cool video of someone swimming deep down and he finds a trench that looks like an underground pool in the ocean. It's really weird how you can have water inside water. It confuses me. But that person goes diving while already diving. I'll see if I can find it to you. But this is the packet that you should have for today. If you're online, this is what it'll look like. Now, there's different types of oceans, like I was saying. The habitat has the river, and the river opens up into the ocean by the beach. And there might be, in a shallow area, which means it's not deep, you might see a coral reef, which you'll see in the video. Now, we have a couple animals that we'll learn about in this packet. If you want to learn about more animals, I have my ocean animal paper here that has way more than I had in here. Oh, sorry. It's because I have to open it up. I'll see if I can maybe give you a different version. But our animals we're learning about today are the dolphin, the shark, a jellyfish, which I have been stung by several times, a manatee, which is Miss Remitz's favorite, and we'll finish it off with the octopus. Now, I picked a lot of big ones, and then I picked the jellyfish, who is small, because there are millions of types of fish. So we couldn't spend our whole time going through fish. If you are doing your animal project and you want to choose an ocean animal, you can absolutely pick a type of fish, like a clownfish, or a puffer fish. That's what I'm doing my project on, and I'll show you that in a couple of weeks. You can absolutely pick a fish, but I wanted to talk about the big animals that we know to be living in the ocean. On Monday, we already talked about the whale, so that's why I picked animals like the dolphin. Now, I'm going to ask you to look at my screen and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you can see it, okay? So look here. Now I'm going to ask you, can you see the, oh, how funny, I have to load your screen now. Can you see that, or is it not popping up? So it's not too blurry for some of you. Okay. Some of you, it's a little down, a little up. All right, well, when we're reading it, I'm only going to do one with you today, one diagramming, because I do want you to get to special. So how about I do this? Now, hopefully, you'll be able to see it up on the screen. It might be a little blurry, my friends, but this is the dolphin. Dolphins are gray, which is funny because they look a little blue when they're in the water. They have a fin, they have flippers, and they have a lot of fat, excuse me. They live in warm oceans. So already we can see that a dolphin and maybe a whale that could go into the Arctic Ocean are very different, even though they both live in the same type of habitat. They both live in the ocean, but they live in different temperatures. A dolphin would not be able to adapt and live in cold water because it doesn't have maybe as much fat, or maybe its skin is not as thick. They live in warm oceans. They play in the waves. They jump up and they can talk to each other. They can click. So I used to be able to do it, but it's like a, I don't know, you can maybe try and do a dolphin noise, but the dolphins are able to make their throat click and vibrate, and that's how they talk instead of using words like you and me. Dolphins are carnivores. Oh, we learned this word earlier in the week on Monday. A carnivore is somebody that eats meat. So they eat fish. Oh, but that's nice. They're not eating seals or something like the polar bear was. They help each other get food. They make traps to get fish. Ooh. Dolphins have one baby. It is a calf. I remember the whale also called its baby a calf. They are born in the water. They swim up to the air. They are small and they are dark. And dolphins live for 40 years. Ooh, a dolphin could be older than some of your parents. That's pretty cool. A dolphin could be almost a little less than twice my age. That's fun. Dolphins have adaptations. Oh, ding, 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 ding. My friends, we found adaptations. I'm backing out so I can highlight that. I was waiting for that. If you have the packet, you should definitely make sure that you always highlight the word adaptations. Ruth Ron told us that an adaptation means to protect something. So let's see how it protects itself in the ocean. Dolphins have adaptations. I'm just going to read it here since we're almost done. Dolphins have adaptations that help them. They have a blowhole. Josiah, you knew it. They have a blowhole. It's on their head. It helps them breathe. They have smooth skin that helps them swim fast. So when they swim fast, they're able to catch up to the smaller fish that are trying to get away. I love dolphins. I swam with them when I was a kid, which was really fun. Has anyone ever seen a dolphin before? A real life dolphin? Maybe at SeaWorld, or maybe you saw some jumping in the ocean. Wow, a lot of you have actually seen them. Way more of you than I thought. You've seen them jumping in and out of the ocean. That's awesome. Well, my friends, how about we diagram a dolphin? Now, I would love to call on some of you. So I'm going to just have you click on the button and then I'll call on you even though I can't see you. So we see, okay, so Stephen and Bella. And so far I'll call on Stephen and Bella. And if anyone else to join, Natalie and Samar, okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I love it that you're helping me. Because now we have to diagram our dolphin. Now, a diagram is when you have a picture of something. This is a nonfiction text feature. A diagram wants to show you different parts of an animal's body because that animal's body is what's helping it survive and adapt, use its adaptations to survive in the water. So you might not be able to see it on my screen, but we need to find the tail. So let's see. I know that the tail comes at the end of animals. So you would write on your packet or type, if it's online, tail. Would anyone like to guess, what is this little circle right here? Let's see, how about Stephen? You can do this one for me. What would you call this? A blowhole, right. So on Stephen's packet, he would write blowhole and then cross it off down here.
But also, do we have to do the whole entire packet?
So the packet is your science for the day because we only get to do 2 habitats a week. Next week, we'll only be doing 1, but Arctic was what we did on Monday, and the ocean is what we do today. And then you'll do your Flipgrid to tell me which animal was your favorite. Now, thankfully, these are very short pieces about animals, but if you're able to, I would love you to do it all today. If not, try and make sure you get it done by the end of the week. So these are your 2 packets for the whole week. And the diagramming you can do if you read about the animal. But they're all pretty low levels, my friends. So I would say that this is around like an E or an F. So if you're reading your E and F books or you moved on from that, hopefully you'll have an easier time reading this. Does that make sense, Stephen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yes, my goal is that you're able to do this for your assignment for the day for science class. But, if you want to take your time on this, you have the week to do it. Just make sure that you at least do your Flipgrid. I'm looking for Flipgrids. So let me see, who else was it? Bella, Natalie, and Samarth was it. So Bella, can you tell me what's this thing sticking out of the head of the dolphin? It's next to the blowhole? Could it be a tail, a dorsal fin, flippers, or skin? A dorsal fin. So that's the special name to be able to tell the difference between flippers, or the fin of maybe a whale, and the dorsal fin is the one that goes on the top. Awesome job, Bella. Thank you. How about Natalie? Can you find where the flippers go then? Are the flippers here on the body, or are the flippers here what help them steer?
The flippers are at the side.
Ooh, and they help them get around the water?
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Here we have flippers. And now Samarth will finish us off with the dolphin by telling us what's the last thing. This is very slippery. It helps them move fast in the water. What's this called, Samarth? Is it a tail, dorsal fin, flippers, skin?
That's the skin.
Absolutely it is. It's kind of like rubber. If you've ever been able to touch a dolphin, it feels like a rubber wet toy. It's weird that dolphins have that skin to be able to move fast. Thank you, Samarth. Now, the rest of you are going to be doing your great white shark, and you'll be able to diagram it. These are some animals that I thought were very important for you to learn about. But if you don't have time to read about each one, it's very important that you're able to diagram them. So try and look at the animals, because all these diagrams are pointing out things that are very important to that animal, something special about that animal. I wouldn't just care about a manatee's eyes if they weren't good, or if they weren't, something that a manatee struggled with. So you can read about here how important their nose or their eyes are to them. But that's what you're going to be doing today. And then you'll go into classwork where it says up here at the top, Science, Flipgrids, and Activities. And you're going to click on Ocean Animals Flipgrid. I loved hearing about all the animals that you loved from the Arctic. I know some of you liked the polar bears, a couple of you liked penguins, and a couple of you liked the little tiny kind of weasel looking animal. There's so many animals, but my friends, today that's what you're going to be doing. It's time to go to special, so I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do one more scavenger hunt with you. But we'll make sure to do one tomorrow. So my friends, what you're doing today is your packet, and you have those few pages of math to get working on, okay? But until then, you can unmute yourselves and say bye, okay? Have fun at special. Have fun at special.
Bye.